Alright, today we're looking for probably the last time at Mario Gray. So basically this video is a lashing out about the fact that I responded to his video, and then less than 600 people went and watched his video, and then he received 100 and something comments on his video, which, I mean, is not exactly a lot of engagement, but it's a start. I don't see what you have to complain about. But I guess we'll see, because apparently he's really taken the brakes off in this one.
To anyone that is new to my channel,
hey, that's not me!
the first part of the video isn't going to be important for you specifically.
So it'll be important for the people who aren't new, which is me, and probably most of you too, so listen up.
This is more about things that happened in my channel in the past. I've been thinking a lot about all of these things up until the point where I started to think maybe I'm going to delete my channel.
No. Don't start the video like that. Don't delete your channel over 100 comments that disagree with you. Look, you made an adversarial video telling an entire group of people that you're not really what you say you are, because I've redefined what you are, and then you asked for comments. And in the description of this video, you even say that what you wanted was to get responses. The channel took an unexpected turn when Logicked made videos on me, what I was asking for. Look, I don't think I was unreasonable. I don't think my audience was unreasonable. Of course, not that everyone who commented on your video was from my audience, because you put atheists in the title. People are going to find it who aren't coming from me. But the people who went over there did what you asked them to do in good faith. They just said, hey, I think you're wrong. Here's why I think you're wrong. There were a few people who left an opinion. That's it. Don't start talking about, oh, I'm going to delete my channel because you people disagreed with me. You wanted to argue on the internet, so argue on the internet.
Disregarding anything that I did in my previous videos where I was basically baiting people to watch it so that I can get more views, get more exposure, and actually get at some point where I'm going to actually make a point instead of just making bold claims and talking about nothing as I did in my previous videos.
Okay, so what? Now you're claiming that you were just BSing, that none of what you said was your actual opinion, you were just saying things that you thought would whip up controversy, and then you whipped up a very, very, very tiny amount of polite controversy, and now you're talking about deleting your channel? What are you doing? What do you even think you're doing? I can't even find a way to express the ridiculousness of this.
I was so busy doing research about all of these things.
All of what things? Rage baiting and trolling?
That I didn't take any statistical purposes into consideration.
If that means anything, I don't know what it is.
So let me explain to you what I basically thought and how it actually is. May I remind you that I was already considering deleting my entire channel, and I would have if Logicked didn't make the videos on me.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is I saved your channel, and now for some reason you're again considering deleting it. It's starting to sound like you generally want to do it regardless of what happens. If you want my opinion, I think you should not. I think you should just argue on the internet, have a good time, and not take it very seriously. Response videos and stuff, it's not a big deal. It's just what we do on this corner of the internet. Just do that more. Loosen up, have some fun.
If Logicked didn't make the videos on me, that's going to stay on the internet forever. I don't care what happens to this channel at this point.
You already didn't care. You just said that until I made my videos, you were intending to delete the channel. That's not what you do to a channel you care about.
I am going to start making new content about everything, so I don't care about going down in flames.
Going down in flames? What flames? There are no flames. There's not even a flame war in your comments.
So I'm just going to be brutally honest at this moment.
Okay. Well, if all your previous videos were just disingenuous rage bait, just lies about what you think, I guess, yeah, it's better to start being honest late than never.
Regardless about what you may think about my intelligence and or my intentions upon anything that I did in the past.
Well, I don't know about your intelligence, but you told me your intentions, or at least claimed that those were your intentions. You've said you were behaving as a dishonest person, saying things you don't believe to get attention. But you know, the problem with ascribing dishonesty to yourself is that then people question if other things you do are also dishonest. Like, for example, people might ask themselves whether your claim that you just weren't taking things seriously and that you were just saying things to get a response itself might not be as true as you say it is, but more of a defense mechanism, a way to shield yourself from criticism of your actual beliefs. This is why I say, yeah, it's probably a good idea to start being honest to avoid these kind of problems in the future. It's not a good idea to put yourself in a position where people have legitimate cause to question your intentions in this way.
I do know a lot about atheism.
Oh, really? Okay, let's hear what you know about atheism.
And theism.
Considering you're like a super duper Christian guy, I find that easier to believe. You probably know what God belief is, yes. But your previous videos made it seem like you have very little meaningful knowledge of atheism. Although if your current claim that you were just lying and playing dumb is true, then I guess who knows? But you say that now you're going to start being brutally honest. So now we can get to the truth of the matter. I hope. So let's talk about atheism. What's an atheist?
I studied both of them in correspondence to each other.
So when you say study, what does that mean? What form does that take? I'm just trying to make sure I have a clear understanding of what you're saying.
But what I didn't take into consideration is the fact that I thought the normal for everyone was to be an atheist, and we need to prove to you that God exists. But in fact, it is the opposite of what I thought.
That's interesting. I don't know if I've heard that from a theist before, that atheism is the default, that everyone starts out as an atheist until they're convinced to become a theist. I've heard the reverse very often, that everyone's born believing in God and then they fall away. But to my recollection, I haven't heard it this way around before. But you're saying this as if this is what you used to think, that you've changed your mind on this, which is also an interesting statement, I guess. And I think it's implied that you've changed your mind on this only since my video came out, which is even more interesting, because what does the existence of my video have to do with this topic? How would the one change your opinion of the other?
Regardless of what you may think specifically, the normal for everyone is to already have a religion, and it is up to atheists to prove us wrong.
No, it's up to whoever's making a claim to back up their own claim. If people are somehow born religious and then turn atheist, well, now that person's an atheist, so you're still going to have to argue your point. But hey, if you want to assume that everybody's born religious and stays religious forever, and all atheists are actually secret religiouses, and as a result you decide not to bother arguing for any of your positions, please be my guest. I have zero problem with you all just shutting up.
As I was doing research about the video that I'm currently making.
You did research for this video? I've watched this video. I have no idea where research is supposed to come into this. Again, when you say things like study or research, what does that mean to you? What do you actually do when you do this research?
I started to see a very strong pattern everywhere, which is atheists are simply in denial of everything.
That's obviously not true, otherwise I would deny there's a video to respond to.
Now, may I remind you that there are different types of atheists?
Are there? Are there atheists at all? You've made 2 videos now called Atheists Does Not Exist, Part 1 and Part 2. What do you mean there are types of atheists? Is this your new research finding? You didn't notice before? You figured this out after weeks of deep study?
Every single atheist, every single person is different.
Wow, man, damn, those are some seriously revolutionary research results. Sure glad you're doing the work on this. I'm not sure anybody else would have figured that one out.
And this video specifically is to everyone that is in denial of everything in regards to the Bible, or God, or any type of religion.
Oh, that everything. That's at least a smaller everything than I thought you meant when you just said everything. So, in denial. It has a little bit of a pejorative sense to it, but maybe you just mean a person who doesn't believe it, in which case all atheists would at least be in denial, if you want to put it that way, of God. Not necessarily religion, and not necessarily the entire Bible. In fact, very few people are in denial of all of the Bible, considering that at least some of what it says is actually historical. But so I guess you're talking to the extremely tiny subset of atheists who not only don't believe in God, and not only aren't religious, but also believe the entire Bible is false. Every claim, everything in regard to the Bible is what you said. Which, come to think of it, would even include claims about the Bible. That is a small subset. Have you met one of these people? I don't even know if there are people like that.
If you are a person that is agnostic and you want to learn about God, but you haven't been introduced properly.
What an odd idea. I'm an agnostic, but I really don't want to be. I sure wish someone would introduce me to this concept of God that I already know about.
Then this specific video isn't for you. But if you are someone that already knows that you are an atheist and you're going to stick by it and you're going to defend your title, then I have a few things to say to you.
Are you going to tell me all over again that I don't actually not believe in a God? Because you can't be an atheist if you believe in something that happened.
So it's impossible for you to describe yourself as an atheist if you are someone that already has a belief of something that happened. The pattern I saw about every atheist that is sticking by their title and already know they don't want to believe in God, or they don't have reason to believe in God, regardless of what anyone else is saying, the same pattern I saw is by default. You think you're correct.
Yes, the reason I hold a position is because I think I'm correct in that position. Whether that position is, in the absence of sufficient information, it's most justifiable to withhold belief, or God does not exist. Either way, I'm not going to have that opinion if I don't think I'm right. The same way that you don't have any opinion you have unless you think you're right. That's kind of what it is to have an opinion. If you don't think you're right, how do you even have one?
My channel was going into a direction to prove you wrong. After doing my research, I saw something astonishing, which I didn't take into consideration.
You not taking something into consideration? No, that's not possible.
Which is that atheists are only approximately like 7% of the world's population, which is a lot lower than I thought it was.
Seriously? To be honest, I'm surprised it's that high. I don't know what source you're looking at, but yeah, anyone with even the tiniest interest in these kind of questions is aware that atheism is a very small minority globally, which again pulls into question exactly what you mean when you say you know a lot about atheism.
I do know a lot about atheism. I don't care about what you think about the fact that I said it's 7%, because you're definitely going to say no, it isn't 7% exactly.
No, I understand the concept of rounding. I just think it's interesting that the figure's so high. Okay, so I took a second and I went and searched for this. Here's Wikipedia Demographics of Atheism. According to sociologists, review of numerous global studies on atheism, there are 450 to 500 million positive atheists and agnostics worldwide, 7% of the world's population. That seems to be where this number's coming from. Second paragraph on Wikipedia, I can almost guarantee that research doesn't mean anything deeper than that. The source of that is this essay from 2013, which already probably means I put in about 30 seconds more work than you did. I think I can stop there.
I don't care.
Me neither.
Regardless, 2/3 of the world's population are Christian.
Sorry, what? 2/3? You're telling me like 5.3 billion people are Christian? Well, look, if I can just do the Wikipedia thing, here you go. Wikipedia, list of religious populations. Christianity, 2.4 billion, 31%. Less than 1/3. I guess going to Wikipedia twice during your research was too much to ask. In any case, though, what is this supposed to mean? Is this an appeal to popularity? Are you right because there's more of you?
If you came from the video that Logicked made, then you are already in that type of category in your own algorithm, which means that you already done your own research and so on and so forth.
So we're just moving on from the relative populations of atheists versus Christians globally, having made no attempt at making a point based on that information, and now we're moving on to a different topic, which seems to be, if you watch atheist videos, that's probably because you showed some inclination to watch atheist videos in the first place, which is why the algorithm is showing you them, which means you probably already have some sort of understanding of the topic. I think that's the point anyway.
Many of the comments that I've seen are people that already know what they are doing. And for the most part, I would have proven you wrong.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you would have. I could beat all of you up in a fight, I just don't want to.
And the point of this video is I'm not going to do that anymore.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for taking mercy upon us. At our last meeting at Atheist headquarters, we were in panic mode, wondering how we would survive you destroying atheism single-handedly.
Specifically about the fact that you may think that I'm stupid.
No.
About I'm calling out flaws in your own theories.
Oh, is that the plan? Alright, when are you gonna start?
But when I was doing my own research upon the flaws that I know of, I started to see too many flaws to make a single video upon. As in, if I would have made a video upon every single comment that mentioned that I should go look at this, or scientific theories are solidified or whatever, then the video would have been 3 hours long just about all of the flaws that you have.
Oh guys, you left these comments and there are so many flaws in these comments. Scientific flaws, reasoning flaws. Man, I could make a 3-hour video about all the flaws in your comments. I could debunk those so hard they'd never stand a chance of bunking again. Okay? I mean, I'm not gonna do any of that at all, but I could.
I'm struggling to understand why some of the people are atheists by claiming that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, why would they claim something like that? There's no reason to think anything like that.
But the scary fact is that you don't know about what you're talking about. You don't know your own theory.
Theory? You've used this word a couple times now. To be clear, we're talking about atheism, right? Atheism is not a theory. What do you think you're saying?
I'm not going into the flaws now.
Gee, I didn't see that coming 3 segments ago.
It's going to take too long. I'm not going to even mention one. It's going to be in the next video upcoming Wednesday.
I thought you said you're deleting your channel. So where am I going to find this video? On your hard drive?
But one thing I've seen for a fact is that people are not taking the Bible seriously, as in you atheists watching this video.
Oh no, we don't take your book seriously? Well, what do I have to do to be better? Do I have to believe it? Is that what counts as taking it seriously? Please give me guidance on how to be a serious scholar like you.
The problem is, I'm still going into the direction of proving that God exists and so on and so forth.
Why? The default position's believing in God, apparently. So we must all believe you already. Or at least we did until we decided to, I don't know, suppress the truth in unrighteousness so we could sin. That's just a guess. You never said that. But you said that we already believe you, and therefore it's our job to prove to you that atheism is correct. That you don't have any burden of proof at all. So what's the point? Why bother making these arguments? Take your own advice. Shut up.
But the problem is that many of the people that are already watching my video are already in denial of everything that I was going to say before you even clicked onto the video.
Yeah, we've probably heard some variation of whatever you were going to say about 1,000 times. Be real, how original do you think you really are? The only aspects of what you say that even approach originality are the dumber things that other theists are too smart to say. The rest is just the same old garbage.
I know my previous videos were stupid and it had a reason for that.
I can tell you the reason, but I don't think it's the reason you'd like me to think.
And yes, I was going to make a serious video where I actually prove points and so on, but when I actually saw the amount of points that we already have in the battles that we are fighting, then I started to realize that you are just too stubborn to understand.
Oh, is that why your entire video was a stupid clusterfuck train wreck dumpster fire? It's just that you realize that you're super awesome and we're a bunch of stubborn idiots, and so you don't have to bother making any good points. Of course that's why. Silly me thinking it was something else.
With an example that many people have already made videos on proof of God or specific flaws that you have in your own theories and so on and so forth, basically doing what I was planning on doing, but they made the videos a lot better quality than I currently can. So I know you have already seen a bunch of videos like this.
Like this meaning good ones, with good arguments, from Christians. No, can't say I have.
Or in the direction my channel was going. But still, you don't want to listen to us.
I've made 400 response videos. I have to listen to every single one of them repeatedly. The people who came to your comments section came there because they were listening to you. You say that these people, just by the nature of the fact that they watch atheist videos, have already seen, as you put it, a bunch of good apologetics videos. Why? Why are they watching these videos? If they have no interest in listening to your arguments, why do they know them all? Why do they sit around watching them? Why, as you say, is there nothing new for you to say to them? No, what you mean is not that the atheists don't want to listen to you. What you actually mean is that after listening to you, the atheists don't just all believe you. That's the problem. This is just a prolonged whine that people who are actually exposed to all of your arguments and have actually heard all of what you have to say disagree. And look, I get that you think your religion is important. I get that this means something to you, and I get that this offends you, and I get as well that you think these trash arguments are really, really good, and you think that any reasonable person would be convinced by them. I understand. And you know what? It's a legitimate position to have. If that's your position, fine. All I'm saying is bring on the honesty you promised at the start. Say what you mean. If you're just sad that other people don't believe what you say, then say that.
And yes, I get it. many people's videos are stupid, the same like mine was, and I did it by intention, but some people aren't.
Man, what a thing to do intentionally. Nobody with a brain would do that on purpose. So either you meant what you said and have a dumb brain, or you didn't mean any of it but said it anyway, knowing it was dumb, and therefore have a dumb brain. And either way, bringing up this excuse now, whether it's true or not, as if people are going to believe it, is also a thing you would only do if you have a dumb brain.
I get it that not every single Christian is the smartest person on earth.
Understatement of the century.
I get it that you don't want to correspond everything towards what we are saying as a religion, towards what you believe in science.
Word salad. I have no idea what that means.
But if you already don't know the flaws of like Charles Darwin's theory of evolution and so on and so forth, then that's kind of scary.
Oh, yes, and you as a very accomplished scholar and researcher, of course, know much better. So you can answer a question like, can you, in basic terms, describe the theory of evolution by natural selection and the evidence thought to establish it?
Then I don't know how someone was able to brainwash you into being like that.
It's an incredible video. It's okay if I just have fun with this one, right? Yeah, it's fine. All right, keep going.
Because regardless of how many flaws you may think that Christianity has, science has a lot more.
Yeah, based on your previous videos and this one, I don't even think you know what the word science means. I think you think it's just some sort of alternative religion. Maybe give me a little summary of that too.
If I can explain it like this, you will find one scientific discovery that will prove your point and prove you are correct. And then you will find 2 or 3 that will prove you incorrect.
Prove I'm correct about what? What are we even talking about at this point? You started off talking about atheism and people not believing your arguments are good. Then you were talking about evolution. And now you're talking about science. And it seems to me that what you're saying is that in science, I assume specifically related to evolution, I'm not sure though, you'll find one piece of evidence that proves you're correct, which already you have not studied a goddamn thing if you put those words together like that. But then you'll find 2 or 3 other things that prove you're wrong instead. Okay, I guess. Like what? What are these 2/3 to 3/4 of all scientific discoveries that have disproved evolution? It's okay, I don't need all of them. Just one to start with. What are the odds it's an AIG link?
As in, it's up until this point where I physically can't take it seriously enough to talk about it.
You physically can't do it? What do you have, like a brain defect? I'm sorry, I didn't know you were disabled.
But yes, if you are curious, then in the upcoming videos that I'm going to make, I will discuss all of the flaws in all of the different types of theories that I've heard in the comments.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. If you make the attempt, I guess good for you. I'd be much more impressed, though, if you actually tried to answer the questions I've asked. What is atheism? What is the theory of evolution? What's the evidence? What's all this evidence of yours that disproves it? Stuff like that. Not that I really understand why we're talking about evolution, to be honest. Evolution is not atheism. I want to make that clear to you because I don't think you have that very clear in your head.
But regardless, this is still a YouTube video.
Oh, wait a second. Hey, you're right. You said something right.
As in, me and you can't have a live debate about everything, which I would have liked.
What do you mean we can't? Of course we can. Message me on Discord. We'll set it up. Doesn't have to be live on my channel if you don't want. We could put it live on your channel if you want. Or we can just do it privately on Discord if you want. Either in my monthly supporter hangout where there will be other people, or if you like, just in a private call. We can just talk. It's all up to you, man. Come message me. Tell me what you want to do.
Having someone being on call and just talking about everything to reach a mutual conclusion would have been a lot easier than just making continuous videos upon the fact that I'm trying to tell you your favorite color isn't blue because what you believe in it so strong and you are so stubborn that at this point it's a matter of opinion more than belief.
Opinion is belief. Those are synonyms. In my opinion, 2 + 2 is 4. I think probably what you mean is something more like preference, because you used as an analogy your favorite color. That's not an opinion, that's a preference or a taste. But then, so I think the point is that atheists don't hold the position that they hold because they find the reasons for it compelling, or that they find the reasons for the alternative position uncompelling, which kind of goes hand in hand. But no, they believe on pure stubbornness to the point that it's not really a matter of honest belief anymore, if it ever was, but it's a matter of taste, like having a favorite color, that they just believe it because they like it, they just want to, which is an angle you can take if you want. I don't really know how you think that helps you much, but that's nobody's business but yours. What I don't really understand is why you find it preferable to say that in a live debate versus a YouTube video. Isn't it all kind of the same thing at that point? Just not engaging in the argument and tossing accusations around instead? It's not like it's any better or more useful of a discussion if it's live.
What I mean is, regardless of anything that I would have said, and regardless of what you've heard before, you still don't want to hear what we are saying. You are not being open-minded about anything.
Look, being open-minded is one thing, but being so open-minded that your brain falls out is another. That's not my line. I don't know where that's from. Look, open-mindedness and believing everything you say are not the same thing. You can have one without the other. I know you're going to find that difficult to understand, and I'm sorry.
And with this being a YouTube video, I know that anything on the internet, eventually someone will hate.
Well, you said that was the point of your original videos, in which case it doesn't really seem unreasonable, does it? You labeled yourself a lying, trolling rage baiter who says random stupid stuff on purpose to get a reaction. And either you're doing the same thing again here because it got a reaction last time, in which case, hey, good job. Or you honestly believe what you're saying here, in which case you're lying about being a lying, trolling rage baiter, because you really are as incompetent as you appeared in those previous videos, since you appear no more competent here, in which case you're engaging in one of the more pathetic displays of excuse-making I've seen on this website. Either way, when people say, hey, I don't like your video that much, they have a pretty good reason. You're not just being randomly hated on. This is not the law of the internet, is that if you put something on the internet, somebody's gonna hate it. No, this is if you put stuff on the internet that's incredibly bad, people usually don't like it. Very different principle.
Even if you are solving world hunger, someone eventually is going to hate you.
What I put up on the internet was really, really good, even though I'm making the excuse that it was dumb and bad on purpose. But you know, even when people solve world hunger, people say their YouTube videos suck. Man, listen, this is an intervention, okay? You're an addict. You need to get off the copium.
And at this point, with the stupid videos that I made, and with everyone saying that their theory is the best theory on earth...
What are you talking about? My theory of atheism is the best theory on the whole earth. Nobody said that to you. Stop lying.
And so on and so forth. It's just too difficult for me to understand if someone is being serious or if they're generally just making a joke.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Because some people just honestly believes in everything that like Charles Darwin said in his theory of evolution and so forth. And the people who said it, they are claiming it like they studied it for a very long time.
Look, if they went on Wikipedia for 2 minutes, they already outdid you. You have zero room to be making these kind of insinuations.
Like they are calling everything out for me and telling me all the flaws that I make in all the sarcastic remarks and jokes that I made.
There were sarcastic remarks and jokes? Tell me one.
But still, you can't see all of the flaws that you have in your own theory.
Okay, tell me what this theory is, to start with, because I still don't exactly know what you're talking about. Atheism, evolution, science, something else. And then tell me one of those flaws. Just one. I know I've assigned you a little bit of homework in this video. A very, very little bit. If we have our call with each other, I would request that you at least bring the answers to the questions I've raised in this video, because it is important. You claim that you know all of this stuff about all of this stuff, and I don't believe you know any of it.
Also, I've seen a thing about many people saying that the Bible is just basically full of fairy tales and so on and so forth. May I remind you that many of your own scientific data records upon our ancestors is based on the Bible.
Scientific data records about our ancestors? What are you talking about, like Jews tracing their ancestry to Shem? No, science is not learning about human ancestry from the Bible. You're thinking of creationism.
May I remind you that we celebrate Easter and Christmas.
Yes, I'm aware of the existence of Christian holidays. Are you going to elaborate on that, or are you just going to say that and move on without making any point? Like, you're supposed to be using this as a counterpoint to people saying that the Bible contains fairy tales. How does this establish that the Bible does not contain fairy tales? How does this even relate to that question? How does this even relate to the Bible? The Bible does not contain Easter or Christmas.
May I remind you that in the times before,
in the before times,
we didn't have to explain why God exists.
Yeah, I know, and you guys loved that, which is why you're complaining to this day about having to justify anything, and reminiscing about the before times when you didn't have to. But now you do, at least if you want to convert atheists or stop people from turning atheist, and everyone gets to see how miserably you fail.
I'm going to change everything of my channel.
People disagreed with me. I'm going to change everything. Okay, do that. Yeah, it's better than deleting it. I guess you gave up that idea halfway through the video.
And I'm not going to care about the comments for the next few months because unfortunately I am relevant to other people's channels, of which I'm going to change the direction of my channel currently.
That's a reasonable approach. You could have just done that in the first place. I don't know what all the drama was about. If you didn't like comments, you could have just not asked for them and then not checked them.
If you watched my previous videos and you thought I was like absolutely stupid in everything that I said and just denying everything and think that science is really the answer for everything and so on and so forth.
Just to be clear, did you watch my response or actually read any of the comments? Because if you think that's the overall point of them, then the answer is clearly no. In which case, good for you, but then why are you complaining about it? You've already successfully ignored them.
Then my channel isn't for you, and I would request that you go and watch someone else's videos.
I will. This is already getting repetitive and boring. Let's not turn this into another Armando situation. By the way, God Is 2 was announced, so we'll see if that comes out, and if he actually makes it available to buy.
Because this isn't gonna be for you, and also I don't want your negativity in my channel.
Our negativity. Do you not remember the videos you made? Why is it always like this? People throw shit over the wall and then they're surprised when they get a little back. Read the Bible, read Matthew. Why do you see the speck in your brother's eye and ignore the plank in your own? Hypocrite.
Because as it stands currently, more than 90% of my channel are people that just generally hate me and just think that they are right from the start.
Your primary claim in this video, all the way through the video, is that your original videos were all intentionally stupid and bad and dishonest in order to get a negative response. Now again, I've looked at the response. I don't find it especially negative. They disagree with you, yes, but for the most part, they're pretty civil. But if you find it negative, good for you. You got what you want. Why are you whining about it? You literally asked for it, and in this video, you're saying you put in real, serious effort multiple times in a row specifically to get it. Pick a lane.
Regardless about anything that I would have shown you, any physical evidence I would have been able to give you, anything that I would have been able to prove to you, you are still in denial of everything that I'm going to say.
We still are, you're saying. Yeah, because you never provided anything. Regardless of anything that you would have provided but never provided, people still don't believe you. Yes. Maybe next time try providing the evidence instead of not doing that, and then insisting, I have really good evidence, I really do. I just didn't show it because if I'd shown you it, even though it was really compelling, you wouldn't have believed me anyway, because you just don't want to. But the only thing you've provided compelling evidence of at this point is that you're completely full of crap.
So it's going to be pointless for you watching my videos.
Yeah, if there's one thing watching your videos is, it's pointless.
If you are a person that really wants to believe in God, but you haven't have a valid reason for it, as in you don't think that science is everything, you just haven't been introduced properly, then my channel is going to be for you.
Isn't that what everybody's been asking you for? Give me a valid reason to think your God exists? That's what it's been this whole time. You're the one that drags science into it. I didn't drag science into it. Most of your commenters didn't drag science into it. If science comes up, it's in response to you talking about it. People just don't believe you. People just want you to provide a good reason. You're just too blinded to notice.
That is the direction of which I'm going to change my channel now.
To what, evidence for God? And what, you think that's going to make people want to argue with you less?
Because to all of the scientific atheists out there, I don't have to prove to you anything.
No, you don't. If you're happy with the world having more and more atheists, that's fine. Just make a bunch of videos going, God exists because I say so. It won't do a damn thing for you, but I'm sure you'll feel good.
In fact, you have to prove me that God doesn't exist.
Yeah, if I make it my life's work to try to convince you God doesn't exist, then yeah, of course. But see, I'm not like the priest of a religion. I'm not here to bring the world the good news of God not existing. I don't care what you think. Me argue on internet. You care that other people believe you. You're in the religion. This has stakes for you. For me, this is entertainment. I don't give a damn about you. Think what you want. If you think something dumb, which you do, that's your problem.
The video that Logicked made, he said, my answer for the proof of God is science can't explain it, therefore God.
Yeah, that was it.
Which is how I meant it, yes.
Thank you for the confirmation.
And I meant it that way because that is how you think.
Definitely not.
You think, well, the Bible can't explain it, therefore science.
Are you kidding me? Is that a joke? Is this you being dumb on purpose again?
And many of the comments and many of the things that I said was basically me just backtracking everything in reverse of what you're saying and saying it back to you, but in my own opinion.
I want to see the comment. Show me the comment of someone saying to you, the Bible can't explain it, therefore science, or something along those lines. Bring that with you to the call. I want that person's username so I can personally ban that person from my channel. Of course, the fact is there's not a person. Nobody said this to you. You're just lying again.
Like, for example, many people ask for physical evidence of God.
Okay, so what's the objection? That God's a transcendent entity. It's not a physical thing. You can't ask for physical evidence of the spiritual. Maybe that's the objection. To which the response would be, okay, but I have to have some actual reason to think this God does something. I can't just read it in a book. You say he does stuff. Can I see some evidence of that? Of the effects of God, if not God himself? To which the answer sometimes is yes. And then you look at that so-called evidence, and then you realize that the person you asked is Kent Hovind, and then you regret your life choices.
And that's the same as me asking, can you give any physical evidence of evolution?
Yes, all of the evidence of evolution is physical. Evolution's a physical process which leaves physical traces. So yes, of course. If there were no physical evidence of evolution, there would be no evidence at all.
Which you can't.
Your Wikipedia adventure really did stop at the demographics of atheism page, didn't it? All your research really did amount to no more than 1 minute, didn't it? Absolutely astonishing.
And which I can't. I can't give you like I don't know what you want. You want me to give you a picture.
Okay, so you don't know what evidence means. You don't understand how you might look at the world to determine the existence of an entity claimed to have real effects in the world, regardless of whether you see the entity itself. You haven't even reached the most basic level of this discussion. Why do you think you're the guy for this job? Why do you think you have something to contribute to this when you've put in no effort? When you haven't even spent any time just lurking and listening to the argument happening? Believe me, it's not just atheists who will tell you that you have serious problems with the way you're approaching this. Any competent theist will tell you the same thing, that you have to actually learn a few of the concepts and the basic terminology before you go any further.
But you can't give me a picture to support your own theories.
I am not explaining the basic concept of evidence to you. At least not right here, right now at the end of the video. If you want to ask me about it live in the call.
So the whole fact upon that this is just a matter of opinion at this point isn't gonna work for me at all.
And with that, the video just ends with a basically incoherent statement that means nothing. So alright, message me, we'll set something up. To the rest of you, thank you for watching. If you would, before you go, please do give the video a like and click subscribe if you haven't. If you like the channel, maybe consider supporting. A couple of bucks per video or per month is very helpful, and huge thanks to all of my supporters who've already made that choice. Early access, email list, list.logicked.com, and I'll see you next time.